For this video, I decided to change my attire. In this case, by attire, I mean my hat, because all this incident that I'm going to be talking to you about is in regards because of a hat. Now, if you weren't aware about the Covington incident that took place last year, literally like about I think it was like happening around the second week of January, around there, like around the 10th, 11th, around there. But the point is, it happened like around in January in 2019. Man, time flies very quickly. Man, I can't believe it was almost a year ago. But what happened was that this kid by the name of Nick Sandmann, who goes to a private Catholic school, I think it was called the Covington Catholic School. They called him and his friends the Covington kids because of a controversy that took place during a trip in Washington D.C. Now Nick Sandmann and his classmates went to Washington D.C. during the March for Life. If you didn't hear about the March for Life, well, I wouldn't be surprised because the media didn't cover this. But he went during the March for Life. He and his friends were wearing MAGA hats. In this case, Make America Great Again hats. Now, while my hat isn't a MAGA hat, it does say Trump 2020 though, the media has managed to label such a hat with just four words on it, to pretty much be somewhat equate to a Ku Klux Klan hat, or that this hat's similar to mine, or in this case the MAGA hat. It's pushing white supremacy, and that only white supremacists would wear such hats. And to literally destroy the narrative right now, I am not white. I'm actually Hispanic, and I'm wearing a hat that the media deems to be a symbol of white supremacy. But this whole incident started when Nick Sandmann was face to face with a Native American by the name of Nathan Phillips. Now, the video showed, well, at least before the initial video showed Nick Sandmann and Nathan Phillips face to face. Nathan Phillips was banging his drum, and Nick Sandmann, if you don't know, if you don't know yet, or if you have never heard about this incident, I'm surprised you didn't. But if you never heard about this incident, I'll let you guess. What did Nick Sandmann do that made the media, that made the entire Hollywood atmosphere echo chamber, entire Hollywood echo chamber, go after a 17-year-old kid at the time? I think he was 17, pointing he was a minor. What made the news outlets harass this kid, name him a white supremacist, and tell him all these horrible things? What made the Hollywood echo chamber tell to this kid that he's a horrible, horrible human being? What did Nick Sandmann do? All he did was stand there and smile. That's all he did. And the media said white supremacist child stands in front of Native American and everything like that. Nathan Phillips even had even acted out an entire sad monologue that they told them that go back to America, or go get out of the country, whatever. And go whatever. Sorry, he didn't say go back to America because obviously he's Native American. I told him get out, build a wall. And in the video, you don't hear that. Not to mention, the media made it seem that Nick Sandmann and his group went up to Nathan Phillips and harassed him. But if you look up extended videos of this, Nathan Phillips actually walked up to the kids. The kids were just standing there waiting for their bus, I think, to pick them up. And Nathan Phillips just walked up to the kid, to this kid, Nick Sandmann, and that's where the whole media started. That's where the whole frenzy started. The media made us believe that this kid and his friends were harassing a Native American, when in reality, Nathan Phillips was the one who was instigating the situation. Okay, and now apparently CNN has confirmed the settlement, therefore giving Nick Sandmann, I guess the money that they were suing them for, and I think this is a good thing. Because here's the thing, I do believe in free press, but at the same time too, I also believe that you're not free from consequences. For example, if I were to say something that's controversial, I have a right to say it. But if I get fired for it, yeah, I'm not free from consequences. For example, if I were to tell someone, you are an effing, I'm gonna go in my community. You are an effing wetback, right? Wetback is a slang for illegal immigrants, right? And I'm Hispanic, so I can say that because apparently that's what the left thinks. But if I were to say that to someone, and I'm not white, I can get fired for that because that's discrimination. I have a right to say it, but I am not free from the consequences. Right? I can say it, but I am not free from the consequences. The free press, this case CNN, MSNBC, yeah, sure, they can write a story about Nick Sandmann, but they're not free from the consequence, especially when it comes to getting sued for defamation, not to mention threatening a child. Because even celebrities were literally saying that they wish that a school shooter would go up to the school and shoot every kid in the school. What kind of person, how cruel and how twisted and vile do you have to be to wish such harm against a kid who just wore a MAGA hat and just smiled? How cruel can you be? Some even other celebrities were literally posting pictures of a guy in a wood next to a wood chipper and saying this is where the kids need to be or something like that. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with you people? All he did was wear a MAGA hat. And even my grandma was here when that happened. And all she said is, why are they going after the kid? He is just smiling. And she lives in Mexico. Kind of shows you how the left doesn't, how left is really divorced from reality. Well, let's read the articles. From USA Today, and it reads, CNN confirms that settlement has been reached with Covington Catholic student Nick Sandmann. And again, I couldn't be any happier. Because the press needs to start being held accountable. If they want to write a fake article, fine. Just don't be surprised when someone comes up to you and says, I'm suing you for defamation and for ruining my personal life based on lies. I'm thankful for that. Here's the thing, a settlement, I think the settlement isn't a lawsuit, because a lawsuit is a completely different thing. But I think CNN, to some degree, I think they acknowledge that they messed up. Because if CNN really didn't believe that they actually did something wrong, they would have said, nope, we're going to trial. But I think a settlement is like behind closed doors. Because, for example, when I went to court to get the money for my damaged car, for like for the person who hit me, I was suing them for $1,500. Now, what they let us do is we can have like, behind closed doors settlement. You guys can discuss the terms, and if you guys agree, that doesn't go on public record, and no one ever knows. It's between you two and the moderator, and no, not the moderator, but the arbitrator, and then you sign the contract, etc., and that's it, right? That's a settlement usually, right? When the judge isn't involved. But a trial, in this case, a civil trial, that's when it starts to become the whole thing about lawyers and proof and evidence, stuff like that. So to some degree, I feel like CNN actually admits. For me, this is what I see from this. CNN knew they messed up. They knew they weren't going to win this, and they said, you know what, fine. We don't want to lose any more money to hire lawyers and go to court and pay court fees, stuff like that. So we're going to acknowledge this, and we acknowledge that we messed up. That's how I see it. But anyways, let's read the article. The CNN has reached CNN has reached a settlement with Nick Sandmann, a Northern Kentucky high school student who had sued the news outlet saying it defamed him. And I couldn't agree more. They did. They literally, because of their actions, this kid's life was threatened multiple times. And honestly, I couldn't even bear the actions of the news. I was thinking, how cruel do you have to be to harass a teenager? But when it comes to Greta Thunberg, you just simply criticize Greta Thunberg and they say, oh, you can't criticize Greta Thunberg. But it's okay to send death threats to a teenager because he happens to be a conservative. A CNN spokesperson confirmed Tuesday with the Inquirer that the settlement was reached. The network would not comment on the details of the settlement. Nick's lawyers did not respond to phone calls or emails at the time of this report. Sandmann, a student of the Covington Catholic High School, became part of a social media firestorm last January when he was filmed with Nathan Phillips at a demonstration in Washington, D.C. A video shows Nick and Phillips standing close to each other in a crowd. Nick stares at Phillips as he plays a drum. The situation unfolded after the March for Life on January 18th. Oh, sorry, January 18th. Yeah, literally almost a year now. On January 18th, which Sandmann and his classmates attended. Phillips was attending the Indigenous Peoples March, and the Sandmann lawsuit against CNN seeking $275 million was filed in March and stated CNN brought down the full force of its corporate power, influence, and wealth on Nicholas by falsely attacking, vilifying, and bullying him despite the fact that he was a minor child. And yes, I agree as well. That makes it even worse because a minor child doesn't have the full rights of an adult. They can't smoke. You can't even smoke now in 18. The point is they can't drink. They don't have their full rights yet. So for them to attack a minor, it's very bad. And yeah, again, it's okay for this. It's okay to criticize and threaten a kid who's a minor when they're conservative, but God forbid you make a joke about Greta Thunberg. Sandmann has also sued NBC and the Washington Post. His lawyers have said they also intend to sue Gannett. I think that's how you pronounce it, Gannett, which owns the Inquirer. And I think that concludes the article. But I think this is a huge win. Again, if the news outlets want to push these false narratives and these false stories, by all means, go on ahead. I don't want the government to tell them you can't say certain things, but it doesn't mean they're free from consequences. CNN pushed this false story, vilified this minor, and what happens now? Now it's costing them. It's costing them money. Maybe they'll think twice before they try to attack a minor. In this case, try to create a false story, because you never know. People are getting fed up. People are not. They don't care about mainstream media anymore. They're looking for more independent individuals, such as Tim Pool, Anthony Brian Logan. They're looking for non-traditional forms to get their news. And to some degree, CNN tries to make all this drama about white supremacy and racism in the United States, when in reality, that's all false. I'm honest to this right now. I've never met a white supremacist in the 23 years that I've lived. I never come across one. But yet the media wants me to believe that they're around every corner and that I'm in danger of being assaulted the moment I turn my back and walk in the middle of the night. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. Are you guys happy that Nick Sandmann has faced some justice? Because I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep going. And CNN wasn't the only one. Are you guys happy to see some justice being served? Do you agree with my argument that if the mainstream media, or in this case a lot of other news outlets as well, if they want to push fake narratives, that's fine, but they are not free from the consequences, and they must suffer the consequences for their actions. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit the like button. Subscribe, hit the notifications. What is it? Bookmark the page. You know the drill. If you are already a subscriber, and if you're new, I do recommend you share the video. Again, you don't have to subscribe, but if you like my content, or if you know someone who might be interested in the type of content that I do, share it on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. That really does help out a lot. And that concludes all the videos for today. I'll see you guys next time. You guys have a good rest of the day.